What were we doing? Pause game. Visit Vela. Okay, we're going back. Because we just... Right, because we got the record, and it's like... It said Vela the whole time on the cover, you dumb shit.
You didn't even look at it.
We just wasted,
idiot.
like, the last 5 hours of this game, practically. Ow.
Are you okay?
I got, like, a cramp, like,
Oh
in
my
a specific way I sat. Like, I felt it in my ribs, and I was like, ah!
You need to do your stretches.
Gotta do your breathing, do your breathing.
There's the episode of The Office where like he talks about what's it called?
Like office chair stretches, so he doesn't hurt himself chairing.
Because the people in the warehouse are like, our job's way more dangerous than yours. And he's like, well, what about seasonal depression? And so he has like this whole episode where he tries to convince everyone that seasonal depression is actually really dangerous.
That's distressing.
So if you sit in a chair, you have to get up and walk around, or else you can get blood clots. And he's like trying to make his white collar job seem really dangerous.
I hate that he has kale mail.
Kale mail.
What was that up top?
A monkey.
Oh, it's one of those beat the monkey. So it's one of those stupid.
It's the spank the monkey joke that they had on addicting games.
Yeah, but it's also the old internet 1.0 like ads that try to get you to play a stupid little game to then send you to their stupid website.
You know, I never fell for the hot singles in your area one, but I did fall for that game one like maybe once as a kid, and I never again.
Like, I want to click on it. I found this creepy shit, and I think you should check it out. Apparently, it's a video from your area. Be warned, it's crazy.
Crazy.
From missing person at axstudios.com.
Crazy taxi.
That's just the company that made the game, is Axe Studios. I haven't clicked on it. Okay, so that's the original email about the elevator. Get me back up on it. The other stuff looked like it was new though, because that one's grayed out and the other ones aren't.
Well, one of them says death.
Yay! You have to try this from Daddy Big Bucks at PacificChime.com.
With a name like that, I think we should listen.
You can earn $22,000 or more in the next 120 days.
Legal, wealth, conceiving. Dad finally says he loves you.
Americans.
That will make your wife touch you. Did you see that? Go back up.
It's so long.
I want to read the part that says.
Okay, I guess it's probably funny. You can. Sorry, I thought it would just be boring and long. You can earn $22,000 or more in the next 120 days by just sending email. Seems impossible. Ready for future details. No, there is no catch. Lies. Print this for print this now for future reference, or you'll have many regrets. All capitalized like it's a title. The following income opportunity is a once in a lifetime type, a fairy tale in the making. Have you ever dreamed of economic triumph?
Yes.
A yacht, a speedboat, or other nautical expressions of success?
Sure.
All of this can be yours for a few simple styles.
Few simple styles. What? All right.
It can be started with very little.
Very little.
And the income return is shockingly tremendous.
Shockingly.
This is a legitimate, legal, wealth conceiving opportunity. It does not require you to come into contact with outside people, do any hard work unless you count clicking, and smart investing among difficult tasks.
That's hard for me.
And yes, and most astonishing of all, you never have to leave your new giant mansion except to walk to your mailbox and collect your giant check.
How can I do this?
If you're like one in 7 Americans,
credibility loss.
You believe that someday you'll get that big break. What? Only 1 in 7 Americans think they're gonna make it in the world.
Well, big break usually means like easy living, which I'm not the 1 out of 7. I'm the 6 out of 7.
Well, it's not even get, it's believe. Like, that's the American dream. The one that will make your wife touch you again, and your dad finally say he loves you. This is that which you've been waiting for. This is it. Simply follow the instructions, and your dreams will come true. $.
Money.
If you'd like to make at least $46,000 in less than 90 days, the number went up and the other number went down. So the rate, it was 22 and 120. Now it's 46 and 90. Please read the enclosed program and then read it again. Simply forward this email and then send us money, you dumb bastard. Be sure to include your name in the check memo and make it out to cash. What?
That's not what you're supposed to do.
What checks do?
That's not what you're supposed to do.
Once 10 of your friends have sent. It's a pyramid scheme.
Of course it is. Okay.
Yep.
Word of advice, audience. If anyone ever tells you that to have a job you have to pay them money, it is guaranteed a pyramid scheme.
It should be illegal.
I had to kick
Sometimes it is. Cutco knives.
I've had to like yell at people before. Yeah, I was gonna.
Yep.
Cutco knives.
Yeah.
I feel like I also got taught. I think somebody tried to get me to do that once too.
A lot of people. Yeah. We had somebody that was always trying to sell us Cutco knives, and they got around like crazy for a while, like a decade ago or so, where everybody had like this fucking suitcase of fancy knives, but like the fucking catch was that all the people selling them had to like buy them first, so the Cutco has no risk at all. But you have to buy them, and then you try to sell them for the retail price to random people, and if you fail, then Cutco doesn't care because they already got the real money off of you, and you're just trying to sell them for an even more inflated price.
I learned about this from King of the Hill. There's a whole episode where Peggy Hill does that with like Tupperware.
Oh, yeah.
And like when as a kid I saw that and I was like, oh, I know what this is now. And so every time it's ever come up again, I'm like,
that's like a whole type. Like if you in certain families, like if the guy is like the breadwinner and there's like a housewife, there's like a whole trend where like they fall into this idea of like, oh wow, I can make some money on the side with this fun business, and then they get into it and it's only negative.
They drain the joint checking account.
In my own family.
No, my mom did Avon, which is makeup. So
yes.
it Edward Scissorhands, where it's like the Avon lady's here.
Yeah, my stepmother fell into like a fucking like pyramid scheme of makeup, and I'm like, no, everyone's supposed to know better by now, right? Don't people know better already?
Well, hopefully now they do. I feel like back in like the 90s, that was a little bit less common. Maybe,
Reaper.
hopefully, I don't know. Here, I'll read this one. Beware users of 56K modems. Work quickly or death is coming. Death is coming to you. 5, 1, 4. You will perish. Beware users of 56K modems. Work quickly or death will overcome you. If you do not send this email to 15 people in 25 minutes, you do not send this email to 15 people in 25 minutes. You do not send this email to 15 people in 25 minutes. You do not send this email to 15 people in 25 minutes. You will overcome you. 5, 4. You will overcome you. 5.
What?
I might have maybe gotten...
That one's a fucking mess.
That would kind of creep me out if I was a kid in the 90s. Not now.
I mean, that was all MySpace and shit. You'd always post like, oh my god, repost this to your wall, or your dead grandma will stab you in the back coming out of a mirror.
What's behind you?
Or like someone you know will have a heart attack, or there's all these like stupid like things, and people kept doing them, and it pissed me off. Well, I guess people are just very easily manipulated.
You start to realize which people they are when they're the ones sending you the emails. You like look at your contact list, and the ones that start sending you those, you're like, oh.
Because like people kept reposting these, and people fall for this, and people also click on that.
Well, they have to exist for a reason. These things exist still.
People disappoint
because of the small percentage that do this.
Humans disappoint me.
Like I said, I knew someone who fell for the hot singles in your area.
Spam. Thanks, Brian.
That's a good one. No, I knew someone who fell for the hot singles in their area.
All right, he just did it again.
And I think they were accessing the internet with their PSP, and they had to like get rid of their PSP because it got so infected with viruses that they just like couldn't use it anymore from all the porn he had downloaded. Yeah,
I literally walked in on my grandma getting conned once. I was just visiting, and like they were like on the phone with somebody that was like asking for like personal information or something. Well, I think their computer was like getting like, what was it?
Was it the prince in Africa who needs money to come to America? 'Cause that's a classic.
I don't think she got full on ransomware, but she like needed to get into something, or something was wrong, and like there was like there was an impersonating happening, but I can't remember the details anymore. Like there's like a whole process of like I think Microsoft was being impersonated. So she was talking to like fake Microsoft about the thing, and it's like no. Like it was something that we're like immediately I was like, I can see what's wrong here. This isn't, you can't do this. This isn't real.
As depressing as it is, even like at my workplace, we get like emails telling us not to give people gift cards over the phone if they call and say they're from our corporate offices, because apparently people will pretend like they're from our corporate offices and call and be like, hey, we need a refund for this customer, can you like cash out like $500 worth of gift cards, like something like that, and like read the gift card numbers over the phone. And I'm like, who would do that? Somebody apparently has. That's why this email exists, because somebody screwed this up.
People fall for everything.
Yes, they do.
I get like 10 phishing emails a day, and I'm really sick of it. It's like the majority of the emails I get are people pretending that like that I'm like stuff's wrong with my bank accounts at banks I don't even have accounts at.
Well, they're gonna keep trying to like get the one that you have the account at. Like they're just like, is it Bank of America?
Or like we're canceling your
Citibank?
Netflix. So I'm like, I don't pay for my Netflix.
Yeah,
I'm not even the account owner of my Netflix.
Talk to my mother.
I just have a sub account. New details on Semi Park. Novel granola.
I remember novel granola.
Last night I couldn't sleep, so I was channel surfing and I came across the KNN. Briefly, they showed the missing persons ad for Semi Park. Now, I don't speak Korean, so I don't really know what it said, but they showed what appeared to be a timeline. It said 9:09 a.m. Let's assume this is when she got to work, and 1:12 p.m. Maybe this is when she left the building? Anyone know if Semi had a car or a license? Annual headed.
Interesting. I didn't catch this, but I found myself watching the KNN lately, hoping they'd show something about her. Good question about her driving, though. If she did drive, and we could figure out about the timestamp, sorry, yellow text is difficult to read, then we could figure out what building that video was taken in. Say she leaves at 1:12 p.m. and the footage is taken at 2:12 p.m., just throwing out random times. Then we can find out which buildings within at most an hour's drive have elevators, and so on. Alternatively, if anyone could look into the Easton bus schedule, we can figure out where she could have bused to. My understanding of the KNN is that they're on a 2-lane highway near the university, but not much else. So maybe we're onto something. What is the KNN is a Korean news network, but
Yeah.
they have a physical location on a 2-lane highway nearby, I guess. Is what they're talking about?
Yeah, I assume it's the Korean news network because they're saying they don't speak Korean. But the way that message was phrased.
Oh, did she work at the KNN? I think did she work there? Is that what the implication is?
I don't know where she worked.
Because they said, because when she got to work, when she left work, maybe she worked at the KNN.
Because like the phrasing of this made me think that the building we found her in was called the KNN, but
it might have been.
Why would that be the Korean news network?
Well, then the one that she was in didn't seem like it was like manufacturing news. It looked like
making news at the news factory,
cranking it out.
Reliable false. I called her uncle again, and he said that she didn't drive. So we now have 3 ways that she could have gotten to the building: taxi, bus, and walking. Doing a quick scan of the Easton bus schedules, it's pretty obvious that she didn't take the bus. The buses there run every hour. That's New Jersey for you. Anyway, the bus goes into 2 places: the university at Easton and a shopping mall. Then they continue on a few other towns, but mostly it heads out of state or into the city. However, getting out of the state and into the city would take a while. I really wish we could figure out the fucking timestamp.
Well, this person's name is Reliable False. I don't know whether or not to believe anything they say at all.
Yeah. I am very reliable. Not. Novel granola. Was that the first person?
That was the first person, so you gotta read that one. Then I'll read Imperfect Picket.
So I guess that leaves taxis or walking. We confirmed that there are no large buildings within walking distance, right? I'm thinking of taking a trip out to KNN this weekend to see what I can find out. I'll report back what I can learn in another thread.
I've been thinking about trying to get to the KNN recently. Sam and I have a lot in common, as I don't have a car or license either. And now that I've read the post about the bus schedule, I'm even more out of luck than I thought. Dude, as a person from California,
Novel granola. Chill.
Wait.
Gather up all your titties and calm them.
Oh, Van.
Where?
Novel granola is correcting Imperfect Picket for the more out of luck than I thought.
Oh yeah.
Because it's but Novel granola puts TH. It's an EN, right? Did they misspell it again? It's supposed to be THAN, is what Perfect Picket should have said. But why? Usually when you correct someone, you put the correct spelling and then an asterisk next to it. Right?
Yeah, I don't see another use of then. in that paragraph, so I don't see another example they could be correcting anywhere.
But because you know what I'm saying is
So they typed it wrong too. Yeah.
Usually you're supposed to put the correct way and then put the asterisk next to it.
Every time. That's 100%. Yeah, you're supposed to be correcting the spelling.
So shut the fuck up,
but they also
Novel
fuck it up.
Granola. Fuck you.
There's like 50 reasons Novel Granola sucks as a person.
Didn't we have problems with Novel Granola last time? I feel like in other readings, Novel Granola was also a problem.
Maybe. It's too hard to remember usernames.
With a name like that, you know,
I'm
you
the
have to be
elevator
a
girl,
problem.
Semi Park. And that's why I can't spell their name. That's going to be what it's about.
It's like, obviously, it's not you, idiot.
Superb Pudding.
This person was here. I remember Superb Pudding also. Mm-hmm. My mother's name is Kyung Soo. Sorry if I butchered that. And she is mentally handicapped. She suffers from bipolar 1 disorder, shows signs of being schizophrenic, and has been very difficult to live with. When I was born, my father worked his hardest to give me a normal life, even without a normal mom. When I was 6, he left us because it was too much for him. I had a younger brother, but he did in his crib. I'm assuming they meant died. After that, mom went even further off the deep end. Finally, my uncle insisted we put her in a home. Doing so was the hardest thing I ever did. I took a job at the KNN after my friend Sang Chui recommended me for an entry-level position. I took it and got a small apartment in Easton. After one day there, I felt something growing inside me that I had been worrying about. Voices. Bouncing around inside my head like ping pong balls. I left work and returned to my apartment. My roommate was angry at me because apparently I had put 9-volt batteries into his soup that morning. Why was he eating soup in the morning? That's the real question. We got into a huge fight. It was so loud between our yelling and the sound of the voices in my head. I got back into the elevator. I do not want to be found. Please stop looking for me. Semi-human.
What? Semi-human?
Oh my gosh. That's definitely like too much of a backstory to be real.
It's like all of the character. It's like,
It's all the stereotypes about the troubled people.
In some ways, this is kind of one of the better parts of the game, is this entire forum and how it's like believable in a lot of ways. Like, there's a lot of crass, shitty, anonymous people, but it's also just the same little community repeating over and over again. And like,
there's a bunch of little trolls.
It's like the whole, like, there's a lot of online communities that are like kind of this whole, like, everyone get together and try to solve this, like, ARG sort of situations, or in many cases, like, let's all get together and infringe upon somebody's privacy and harass them. Is like
unfortunately,
like, those still happen constantly, unfortunately, and like you can see all the different elements here, and like like you have these like fame aspects, and you have these online figures that like are somewhat anonymous in some way. And then you have people that will start claiming to be them, and you have all this question, like everything from like Kiwi Farms to like QAnon to like a bunch of different categories. Like people like take credit for and like pretend to be a particular person just to get like the rush for it, or the attention, because they're seeing everyone obsess over the thing, and they're like, I could just pretend to be them. I like although like I'm very aware that this exists, and I like, to me this does seem like reminiscent of what some parts of the internet might look like. I never understand this at all. Like, I don't understand the want for that. I don't like talking to people on the internet. It scares me a little bit. So tune in for our VR chat series starring Stephanie, where she literally talks to strangers.
Well, I'm
afraid to ever launch that game.
I would do well. Like, that's the thing, is like I would do well. I tried being in a chat forum like years ago, back when I moved out here to Modesto just for fun.
What?
I said where we live. Can you like block it out?
We have a P.O. box.
Damn it. Oh yeah, okay, whatever. I sorry.
They know.
Whoops.
Modesto is already a given.
Oh, I forgot about that. Okay, well that's fine.
Yeah. It's not like
Greetings from Modesto.
I'm not going to pretend like I'm commuting over to the P.O. box town every time I check it. We actually live in Stockton, an hour away or something.
Well,
Half an hour away.
Don't come find me and kill me, all right? But no, yeah. So I would be on there and I would recognize people every day. But then eventually, I just was like, why am I doing this? Like, I have friends in real life. I can just talk to them and see them. Or maybe I just don't want to talk to anyone, and so I like just not doing that.
Yeah. I remember being like, there was just certain forums I spent a lot of time on, and there was like familiar faces there, but I didn't really necessarily like know any of them. But there's just like the chance that I'd actually like even go as far as being like, oh, I'll network with those people and then play video games with them would even be like, that was so rare even to go that far and actually interact beyond just like existing on a forum together. But then there's different stages of online friends too, because then there was like World of Warcraft days where I had a guild, and that's like a much more like concrete sort of feeling of a community because you have the same people consistently showing up, and then you actually have to work together for something, and so you have like so you have actual communications and like voice chat and all that. And at this point, like half of my best friends are online people at this point, but that's because of like the weird YouTube stuff. It's just like people that I mostly know online and I've met like once in person because we don't live near each other at all.
That probably makes more sense. Like I think I if I ever got into like online gaming, that would like I think that would make more sense to me because you're actually doing something together, like you're doing activities, you know, as opposed to just like, oh hi, how are you? It's a good, how's your day going?
Yeah.
Good.
This is a good year to be used to that kind of stuff because everyone else is a lot less available anyway. When you have those like habits and patterns with your particular online friends, you're like, it's like nothing changed. Except everyone's complaining about 2020 the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, that is like a topic of conversation.
Yeah. Elevator girl. Reaction nod. Sammy Park. 21, missing, and a thief. She stole my heart.
Aww.
Insert missing woman poster. Interestingly enough, I saw this missing persons ad this morning. I scanned it in. Sorry for the potato quality. Correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm sure you mofos will surely do so. But is this not the Asian girl from the elevator video? Oh, that's when they figured that out. I wish there was dates so I could tell what order these posts are in.
Oh my gosh, this next person. They all look the same, so I can't be certain.
Jesus. Same glasses, same hair. Yeah, I'm gonna say that's her. So now we know her age, her weight. Any other details? Where was this printed? Where did you find it? Seriously, don't just post this without the backstory. My bad. We had a newspaper in our team, the Frankview Daily Journal. They were inserted into the all the papers. Basically, that's the entire story. I woke up, went to work at the 777, opened up a paper, and this beauty fell out. It's really funny that Yuri wins in this game because specifically part of the gag is he reads bad fan fiction and bad creepypastas, and he says it word for word how it's spelled and written. So like I'm just imagining his voice doing these like the was it
they were
inserted into the papers.
I think if you're gonna read fan fiction, that's like the way to go for sure. But I think the typos are. I wonder if they're on purpose because that kind of makes it more realistic.
Oh yeah, it's probably intended because people don't. It's like they're yeah, because some of them are really obvious stupid typos that people make, but you're like seriously, and then the other ones are like the sneaky ones where like you have to carefully proofread to recognize that like an extra the slipped in awkwardly. Because like in English language, we don't have a really strict structure for sentences. There's certain special words that like feel like they have to be somewhere in there, but they could like be on either side of a certain word. Sometimes you put both of them in there.
Yeah. Like when I'm editing, I make the most mistakes when I write a paragraph like via text, and then I go back and edit it. Like I want to change the sentence structure, but I forget a loose word in there, but it looks normal. Yeah. Like I do that sometimes.
Or like
texting.
For emphasis. Like certain forms of emphasis, I'll add like just or really to certain sentences, but there's like oftentimes 4 places they could go, and so sometimes I'll finish a sentence and look back and I'll have written just or really twice in the same sentence because they're like 2 places that I could have put it, but then I put them both and like that's not good, and then I have to go back and like fix my tweet.
Yeah, I better not like, send out any embarrassing tweets, Keith.
Then like putting too much thought into it. You want to do Bear's Necessity?
Yeah, I remember Bear's Necessity too. I think this person may have also been a problem. I don't remember Bear's Necessity.
I'm pretty sure they all suck.
They all suck. Moral of the story. I overcame my social awkwardness and called the number. This is what I found out. She was an intern or some low-level employee at a Korean news network. She recently relocated to Easton to work there. She English is great, but she wasn't born here. She went to an international school of some sort and moved to the US of A in 1992. She's been missing since April 4th. As far as I can tell, through the thick accent of the guy who answered the phone. She at her second day of work when she disappeared. I asked him about the video and he didn't know anything about it. And then that like DMT horny guy who's an asshole says, I had my money on her being Chinese. Something smells fishy.
Yeah, what the fuck?
What an asshole.
She's also, isn't she? She's not
She's
Chinese.
Korean.
Yeah, it's been really clear. 8 mallet.
So let's get this straight. She goes to work and vanished. That's it? Does anyone know if she got to work? Was she out on an errand? Come the fuck on, Bear's Necessity. There has to be more to the story than that. I AOL'd her name.
AOL.
You used to AOL people. You used to search on AOL.
Oh my gosh.
And all I find is the Onisum posts.
Call the number yourself if you don't believe me, asshole.
Were you also reliable false? We're gonna quickly forget anyway.
Whatever.
There's too many people.
Well, as 8 Mallet has obviously bitched out and now called them, but I did. Oh, and I think he means and not called them. Well, as 8 Mallet has obviously bitched out and not called them, but I did. And what Bear says seems to be pretty on point. She left for work, got to work, and somewhere in the middle of the day, people realized she wasn't at her desk. They figured she left during lunch, never came back. Anyone here speak Korean? Feel like giving her work a call? Apparently, she worked for the KNN.
Wow.
Like fentanyl, but like apparently. She worked.
Take your Apparently today. Ask your doctor about side effects of Apparently.
She worked for the KNN. It literally stands for Korean News Network. Creative, right? Dude, don't knock it because
judge them.
Every news network, like most of them have a stupid, really basic name like that. Like, what do you expect?
Also, they're mad that like Bear's Necessity isn't doing enough. Like they're doing the Bear Necessity.
Oh my gosh, Keith.
It's not even that much of a. It's not even really a pun.
That's not even what bare necessities means. You mean like bare minimum?
Yeah, but it's the bare necessities, as little as needed. That's what that
yeah,
song is about.
I guess so.
Forget about your worries and your strife.
Do Rubber ducky.
They can't be that
so
mad.
funny.
They can't be that mad that they're not doing enough. It's their name.
Yeah, it's a
Just
bear.
like how reliable is not reliable.
Bears like to nap. Okay.
That's what they're known for.
It's a bear at a keyboard. Clack, clack, clack.
I'm gonna ask this kid at school to see if he'll do it. I'm pretty sure he's Korean, but he's kind of awkward.
You better make sure he's actually Korean. Man, when I was in school, I had a lot of friends that were from Asia, and my dad being very sweet, like he wouldn't know the difference, and I'm like, it's like she's Vietnamese, he's Korean, she's Indonesian, she's Chinese. There's a very apparent difference to me. But I was like, no, they're all very different, Dad. And he's like, okay.
That's nice, sweetie.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, pat, whatever.
Pat.
I'm not going to think anything else about this, but I appreciate your interests.
Let us know what happens. Any updates on this? No go. He said no. Anyone else?
Imperfect picket.
That.
I really wish you could scroll smoothly.
I was in perfect picket, I think. I'm new to Onism, and I'm pretty surprised by some of the stuff on here. A friend of mine asks me to look at this and see if I could help. I called KNN, and no one would talk to me. They said that if I had any information about Sammy Park, to call the hotline that her uncle set up. So I called him, and I found out a little bit more about her. Apparently, she's a huge dog lover, that she has a dog named Ernst. Oh my gosh, Ernst. She has a cat named Dolly, like Salvador Dali, and then she has a dog named Ernst, like Maxwell Ernst. That's another art reference, y'all.
She's secretly the best character.
I just like that, but I also don't like that they're in this game, so I'll take.
It was a cat with a moth.
I think it's Max Ernst. If I'm wrong about that, I apologize, but I like whoever that artist is. The last name Ernst, I like him. He also does surrealism.
I was so fucking proud of myself because there was a round of Blather round in Jackbox 7 where the answer was Salvador Dali.
Oh,
haha, my points.
I'm proud of you, Key. Anyway, her position at the KNN was basically clerical. Paperwork, photocopies, crap like that. Apparently her mom is really ill. So let's take this from the beginning. Sammy Park gets a job at K&N in Easton and works there for 2 days. Somewhere on her second day, she disappears and people think she quit on her lunch break or something. That and she has a dog named Ernst. Yeah, great. Mystery solved, Onism. We did it.
Okay. What do? We need to find a way to get people at K&N to tell us what they say that day. Probably saw. Did anyone eat lunch with her? Is there a log of who comes in and out of the building? Clearly there has to be some sort of details as to where that elevator video was filmed. First things first, does anyone know how many floors the K&N building has? Is it possible it was filmed there? So we know for a fact that she made it to the work on April 4th. My money is on the video being filmed there. Imperfect pick it. Format your fucking page.
Imperfect pickle.
Any chance you can call them again and ask how many floors their building has? Or even if it has an elevator? I don't think there is like an old internet that didn't have text wrapping that they're impersonating here. I think they just formatted their game badly.
That is a possibility.
Whenever the text goes off the right side of the screen. I'm like, I don't think the forms work that way. I think in order to go off the right side of the screen, I think you had to have one continuous string of text with no spaces in it. And then it would like break the page. But if you had spaces, it would wrap. I think we figured that out pretty early. I think that's just them fucking up. Bueller.
Typical Onism users makes a compelling post and then disappears. I called K&N myself. No one wanted to talk to me. I wonder why. So I looked up the address and found out that there is a toy store across the K&N. I called the toy store and it said that K&N is only bi-level. So it leaves me wondering if they'd have an elevator at all.
Veriformer.
Wait, who was that again? Is that someone we know?
I think Veriformer. Here, grab my book.
Which book?
The top one.
This one?
Yeah. There's a page of notes for Y2K in there. Might be the first page even. Who's Is that Michael?
That's Michael.
It's Michael.
This is such a nice. Keith has such a nice like leather-bound notebook. Oh my gosh!
I bought like a $15 like faux leather notebook to put my notes in.
That's very fancy.
Instead of all the random index cards I was like scattering everywhere.
I write poems in a spiral-bound notebook that I have shoved on the side of my bed between my fish tank and my bed.
Yeah, because I was
like I do not take care of it.
I was trying to remember because there was somebody that people were suspecting might be Alex, but I don't think we know what Alex's name is, and I think that might be a lie. But Michael, I guess, is Veriformer, and then oh no, sorry, Alex is the protagonist, huh?
Alex is SNESman 99.
Yeah, Alex is SNESman. I meant to say
Rory.
Yeah. That's Rory's the one where we don't know.
Yeah, Michael's Veriformer.
That's Bear's Necessity makes an interesting point about whether or not there is an elevator or not in the bi-level building. And the answer, of course, is yes. You can't run an S-class corporation in the US and not have a wheelchair-accessible floors. So even if the video wasn't taken at the K&N, they likely do have an elevator because of the Americans with Disabilities Act or whatever. Lastly, look closely at the video. There is clearly more than 2 floor options. If it was at the K&N, there would only be a first and second floor button. Maybe a B1, but there were at least 6 floors buttons on the video, so I think we can rule out the K&N building out of the filming location for the video. I always get a kick out of when people say something really specific to show that they're very knowledgeable about something, and then they try to disarm it by saying, or whatever. Or whatever the fuck, I don't know. It's like this really specific fetish or whatever. It's like,
yeah, it's like here's the whole backstory of like the erotic fan fiction that you're referring to, or whatever. I didn't read it. I don't know anything about that.
Great points. Okay, so if it's not the K&N building, are there any other locations within walking or taxi that she could be in? I wish we knew what time she left the K&N building. The timestamp on the video is nonsensical, so that doesn't even help us. I have no idea what it's counting. Seconds, days, years? Why are there so many digits?
Were there a lot of... I don't remember... Were there a lot of digits?
Did we find the original post?
We did.
I guess there's always this one.
But I don't remember where it is.
This links to it. I want to read all these, but also it takes so long.
what timestamp?
Wait,
Like, what are they
what?
talking about?
I don't see any timestamp in these. What? Okay. Weird.
Whatever, Michael.
Whatever, Michael.
Michael.
Get out of my house.
Dude, if Michael was in my house, I would kill him.
I want to read all these, but then I see how far into an episode we are each time. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. It's an entire episode of reading this forum.
There's always tomorrow
while.
for dreams to come true.
Let's figure out how to get home. I don't remember.
You want to watch the Rankin and Bass Christmas movies this year, Keith?
If you can find them.
That is the hard part.
We can delve into the distressing morality of every single scene of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Dude, the one that stresses me
Everything
out.
about that movie is just like,
Well, do you remember the Santa Claus
there's
one?
a dead end.
The one where Santa Claus is developed or whatever, like Santa Claus is
There's
created.
a few of those. There's like young Santa Claus with the red hair.
Yeah, but there's the one where he like sings a song about having kids sit on his lap, and it like really bugs me. I hate like even as a kid, I was like, I'm not supposed to do that. My mom said, don't do that.
My mom said no.
But if you sit on my lap today, a kiss, a toy is the price you pay. That's how it goes. Because like you have to give him a kiss on the cheek and he gives you a toy. And I'm like, that's not a good lesson to teach
I think
kids.
it's like if you want a toy, a sit in my lap is the price you pay or something.
No, a kiss. If you
That's a big piece of
if
machinery.
you sit on my lap today, a kiss, a toy is the price you pay. So you pay for each toy with a kiss, Keith.
I don't like it.
I don't like it at all.
I don't.
Why would you teach kids to do that?
Is this the bus station I need to go? Okay. Where would you like to go?
We have to go find Bella.
Is Frankton the first? I can't remember how to navigate this game.
Well, it doesn't really
We
help.
haven't seen Vela for like 2 months.
It's not Windtown, because Windtown's the depressing town, right?
Yeah, I think Frankton might be the poor town, and that might be walking distance of the... Nope, Frankton's the starting town. We're back. Let's go find Vela.
Bella's in like the next.
Yeah, to the right.
Yeah.
At her shop. Unless she's not there right now. Oops.
Get out of the road, you maniac.
Just run him over. The kale will protect him.
I know you don't drive outside anymore, because you know.
I asked the others to stay back when I spoke with Bella myself. I knew I needed to apologize alone. As I walked across the chewing gum and popcorn-covered floor, I imagined what the title of my quest would be if my life was a video game.
Why are you
I
doing
don't
this?
think she's doing her job very well if the floor is covered in popcorn.
And chewing gum. You gotta scrape that up.
That's a bigger problem. That's a harder problem to solve.
Hey,
Popcorn though.
there are floor scrapers, like.
Yeah,
You know what?
but popcorn is just one sweep, and you're like, ta-da!
Maybe they're going
I'm
for.
a paid employee.
Maybe they're going for like a Texas Roadhouse where you're just able to throw things on the floor.
The peanuts.
Yeah.
It's just popcorn and gum. Gross.
Quickly, it was becoming Apology Quest, or Legend of Please Forgive Me. I
Man,
wondered how many other people I had to say I'm sorry to before I found Sammy.
if someone was
Where
going,
life was taking me.
Someone was what?
if someone was going to apologize to me, and they told me that they were thinking about the name of the quest in which they'd have to apologize to me in, I would just not accept their apology.
It's like such a fucking difficulty for them to overcome to just apologize.
Like I have to fantasize about this being a video game for me to cope with having to
Yeah.
apologize to someone.
Which we know is his problem.
Oh my gosh.
Because he just like digs himself. He like, even when he knows something's the wrong thing to do, he's just an idiot and says the worst things to people and then never apologizes and then runs away. And it's like, why is life so hard for me?
Quit making me cringe, Alex.
Lately, Sammy wasn't at the forefront of my thoughts. I wanted to find her, and I really wanted her to be safe. But the more time that passed between meeting her and thinking about her, she became less real. More of a concept, more of a mythical being that only existed in my mind and the mind of the internet.
Oh, hey, what's up?
That's how I feel about Alex too.
He struggles so much with the lead up to apologizing to Vela that he just starts thinking about Semi Park again.
That's a great way to apologize to a girl, is you think about another one.
I came here to say I'm sorry. In my infinite arrogance and constant thinking of myself, I didn't look at the record properly. I had no idea you created it. I had no idea it would upset you. So basically, if you'll still be my friend, I'd very much like that.
Okay, I accept.
Okay, great. I expected to do more begging.
Don't push your luck. Just let it go. Who are... Oh, Michael! Rory! New friends? Hey, new friends!
She seems awkward about that. It's playing
It's got like a horn now.
yeah, it's like a horn version of the brain music.
How many versions of this song play? Huh.
It was easier than I expected. Now, to convince her about getting the record.
See, he has ulterior motives in apologizing
Yeah,
too.
he only apologizes
He's
to
such
people-
an asshole.
He only apologizes for personal gain. And him being too dumb to read the cover of a record led to us not having Vela in the party for an eternity, and therefore not in the story. Not that everyone in the party has to be in the story, because Michael doesn't exist.
As you know, as it should be.
I introduced her to Claudio and Chandra. We went to the birthday party and talked about everything that had happened up to this point. They told her about their brother. Rory talked about his sister. Michael talked about his college fears. And I just listened. I never expected to find such an amazing group of friends so close to home. It was a great feeling. And now came the tricky part. To ask her to go inside of the mind dungeon with me and look for the record. Bella, can I ask you a personal question?
People can go in your mind? Like Persona?
Or like Psychonauts.
Suppose.
So, I was wondering if you could tell us about the record. The one you made.
What's there to tell? In my previous reality, I made a record. Pretty simple.
Wow, so
Can you
simple.
tell us why a record jacket from the album you made in another reality that was set to be released next year was found in this reality?
I have no idea. You do realize I left that reality behind intentionally, right? There are reasons I wanted to escape.
Yeah, no, I get it. Just, I wonder if it's somehow linked to everything going on.
I'm telling you, Alex, you're looking for puzzle pieces where there is no puzzle.
I think there's a
Talking
lot
like
of
there's some
questions.
cosmic plan here.
It's like it's another supernatural thing tied to other supernatural things.
don't-
That's the connection, maybe, but it is really specifically tied to her past and not Semi Park. So there's a reason to think that it's also a leap at the same time.
It's kind of like, like, don't worry about it. Like, all this complicated mumbo jumbo, yada yada. But don't worry about it, though.
Don't
It's
worry
like,
about
all
it.
right.
worry.
The only time that really works is like in I do like in sci-fi when they just very casually imply, like I think of like Evangelion or like Alien or something, where they're doing stuff on the computers and they're like, do this, set the phasers to this, like yada yada, and they're just talking to each other. But it's like you don't really need to know what they're doing. 'Cause it's not exactly important unless they actively imply that it has importance.
It helps us understand what's happening.
But this is very central to the plot, so you can't really
Yeah.
infer what her reality jumping means in relation to anything else.
Just casual, like, yeah, I just hopped realities, like
Yeah,
you do.
yeah.
Blubba dubbed.
She's not like Ramona
What do you think is
Flowers.
going on here?
It's just, it's all so weird.
That is what it feels like. It's like specifically when you watch the movie version of Scott Pilgrim, and she's like, "Yeah, I just took the cyber highway through your brain as a shortcut."
Yeah.
And it never comes up again. You're like, "What?"
Well, I think
it's way more in the comic, but in the show, it just comes up in 30 seconds and never comes up again. You're like, "Fucking what?"
but even in that sense, they don't really explain it. I think it's just meant to be kind of charming and cheeky. It's just
Yeah.
this. Don't worry about it because we're making a joke. This is actually important. Bella's Bella,
But also the
you're
thing
not
she's
Ramona
joking
Flowers.
about is real in that movie too. So it's like, what?
Well, she's just kind of yeah. And so the writers are we're not going to explain this. And that's the fun part about it is it's not at all really important to really anything else. It just doesn't really matter. This seems like it matters. Bella's just not coughing it up.
Sammy disappearing, me meeting you, then Rory, Chandra, and Claudio, we're all linked.
How are Claudio and Chandra linked?
They're brother and sister, Keith.
They know. I mean, they know a missing person, I guess. But was like
Wait,
them having a missing sibling doesn't seem like it'd be inherently related to the fact that Vela can hop dimensions and made a record once.
No, not really.
The only connecting tissue is they're all happening to Alex, and Alex is very self-important, so it must all mean something.
If it involves him, it has to mean something, Keith.
Fine. If it will make you stop sulking, I'll go with you into the mine dungeon. I'd like to know why my record is here myself.
I'm a little confused here, guys.
Me too.
That's fine.
How the hell does Alex know the record is in your mine dungeon?
Because I know she's trying not to think about it. And the things we try not to think about always end up on our minds.
That seems like more of a stretch than the link between Sammy and the record to me. But sure, I've got nothing else to do. Let's get inside Bella's head.
Oh, Vela's
Okay,
head.
just keep your hands to yourself while we're in there, boys.
The only mind dungeon we've known about is ours, so I thought we were going there.
It's creepy enough letting one person in my mind.
Oh, puppet eyes.
I kind of like that
Like
one.
with the raven.
I wouldn't want Alex inside my mind. Oh, gosh.
We're here. We're here with the distressing server man.
Whee!
I run so fast. How do I go into Vela's mine dungeon? Oh, she's level 25.
Well, that's good. She's been keeping up. Can you just switch out Michael forever?
Get out of here, Chandra. Chandra's hula hooping thing is not good. I do not want to keep playing that minigame all the time. And she has to like spend an entire turn just amping up her like special skill that toggles what state her attack is in, and so you spend like a whole turn changing the way that you fight, and it's like
See,
it's just too much. It's just too many steps.
It
Vela
reminds-
just hits people.
You see, that's what. Okay, it reminds me of like Pokemon.
Vela's new main character.
Yeah, get Alex
There we
out of
go.
here. Like when I play Pokemon, I'm the same way where I'm really impatient. There's a lot of like strategy that goes into picking Pokemon that have to like take 2 turns to like power up, or
Yeah.
like doing ones that have a cooldown time, or doing ones that have to change form to have different move sets. I'm like, no, I just want something that punches really hard. I'm gonna pick like my fucking Tyranitar, and he's just gonna punch you, and then you're gonna be dead. Like that's how I want to play.
Nope, nobody's ready to level up.
I love Michael's
A
face.
transcendental musician. She's better at rhythm games than you are.
Yeah, loser.
Damn. He's just like you in an alternate reality. No.
No.
God, his fucking bug eyes.
But Keith, he's as smart as he looks. What does that mean to
What
you?
does that mean?
Look at his face.
I don't know what that means.
How smart does he look?
Master of hacky sack. A quiet boy with a troubled past.
That's a school shooter.
Oh, that face he's making.
Oh no.
These faces that some of these people make. The last of the Uncritch twins and a hooler of the hoop. Is a hula hoop.
Yeah.
Some of these photos are unfortunate.
Some of these characters are unfortunate.
I'm also like wondering like
Most of
why are
them.
they all in shadow? What? Why are they all in shadow? What's that weird? And also, what's that weird shadow over there? That's even shadowier. Or,
Yeah, on his little hair. I don't know.
But like the game is so much brighter than that. Did they all take their photos on the same like foggy day in Seattle? Sports. Please come in.
That's the most enthusiastic part of the sign. Is this sports?
Sports.
Is this Bella's Mine Dungeon? Where are we?
This is what I imagine YIIK is like.
Well, yeah, probably a little bit. Whee! If this is Bella's Mine Dungeon, it's already cooler than ours. Yes, definitely cooler than ours.
Oh no, she's way better than us.
Oh no,
The
she's
mind
cool.
of fellow wilds.
That symbol that I don't remember.
Yeah. Gamma? I don't know. I have no
Alpha,
idea.
beta, gamma, delta.
my God, look at her
S1,
floor.
Eta, theta, theta.
Look at her cool floor and the surf bots.
Oh, there's a surfboarder. There's a skateboarder.
Oh god, it doesn't move right.
No.
Oh god, every time that they turn it looks really wrong. Can I catch him?
Kind of stressful. Go right in his way and see if he stops.
No, I can't. I don't think I can talk to them. There's one person here that's not a surf bot.
I I hear the singer is a no-show. Do you think I could get a refund? That's just like, is that Bella in her own brain a little bit? No, she kind of looks like her.
Patron.
Patron saint of
I think
waiting
I'm
for a
in
refund.
love with the bassist, and the guitarist, and the keyboardist. I think I'm in love with you.
Aww.
Somebody loves me. Oh, look at that horror! Look at the face. Look at the giant like grimace that's so big it goes beyond his face. It creates new real estate to frown.
Sometimes we all need a little bit of extra real estate to frown, Keith.
I hope they're good live.
He's very worried about it.
Yeah, it's like, oh no, what if they're like Karen O?
That is, like, you telling me that breaks my heart. Because because I'm in love with Karen O.
Are you a roadie? Don't you think you should set up the show?
Don't fucking tell me what to do.
We are the opening band. We're probably not the band you came to see tonight. That's alright. Soon we'll go away.
AJJ has the song where it's like, we didn't come here to rock, we came here to disappoint you. It's a song about them not being good. And
Almost all their faces look like that, but not this guy.
They're all just bummed out, man.
Yeah. Came here to disappoint you.
And then there's a, I want to say the band Filter has a song about like how it's like everyone's disappointed and they all leave the show. Whereas like Puddle of Mud, I don't remember. There's a few songs like that.
Shouldn't they be doing sound check? I'm worried. What if they don't show? And we're wondering just where the hell's the sound guy? He took a break as soon as we got up here.
So I can't.
I've heard that song too many times.
I heard the boing boing. I hear the singer is sick. I wonder who will replace her. I started getting nervous when I saw like Primus and then Mastodon open for them, and there was a point in the show where I was like, Mastodon's been on for too long, and I will never forgive them ever, Mastodon, wherever you are, because they took up so much of the time without just getting off the stage that Primus's show was cut short because they just hogged the stage for too long. And I'm like, I'm not here to see you. I'm here to see my boyfriend,
sucks.
Les
I'm
Claypool.
Here to see my boyfriend.
Yeah, I'm here to see Les Claypool.
This is a bad visual. The floor should have ended with a green line, and the background should have been black, so it would just stop you at the green line, but there wouldn't be like a visible outside, because that looks really wrong.
There's something very
the world just ends up there anyway, so it's like they just let me go too far and it looks like trash.
You ever
I should be able to go past here.
look at that guy laying on the stairs? What's his problem?
He's sleeping. Sleeping man blocks the path.
Oh my gosh, he's a
You gotta get a flute.
Yeah.
You gotta get the Snorlax flute. The poke flute. Oh, you got some kind of something to poke him away with.
A
poke flute to poke him with. That's how you wake up Snorlax.
Yeah, you get the flute, but you don't actually play it. You just smack him with it.
Snorlax I have like fear reaction to that character.
Fear reaction because of Smash Brothers?
Yes.
Yeah.
Snorlax.
And he just like takes up most of the screen.
Like he just falls down the screen like
I feel like he's kind of nerfed nowadays, but back in the day, like in Melee, I feel like he took up so much of the screen that he just was like insta death. Or maybe I was just a kid. Maybe he was just scary.
Another video game.
Valhalla.
Yeah, Valhalla. We might play that sometime.
Oh wait, this is an actual other video game?
Yeah, it's a bartending game. It's like a cyberpunk bartending game where you tend to your patrons as the bartender.
That's cool.
And like learn their stories and whatnot and get them the right drinks. And I don't really know how it works mechanically, but it's well loved. And there's a lot you get like Easter eggs over here and there, but this is a pretty strong one.
Does it actually look like that?
Not exactly like that because this is this art style, but kind of maybe.
I always thought I'd be a good bartender.
That's definitely how the name's spelled.
With the 11s?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Mister, I'm serving another customer right now. Please come see me later. By the way, please stay away from that exit. There's some weird stuff going on behind those doors.
Why is Valhalla just in her brain?
Well, go next to the exit. Go see what's in the exit.
Are you excited for the show? I'm nervous for the band. What do we do?
He has a lot of empathy, so he's nervous for them.
Aw. Turing.
Oh, that's cute.
That probably is a character in Valhalla.
Unfortunately, it appears that they're all out of Hasif. I have anticipated your disappointment, and I've readied a list of suitable backup drinks.
Hassy. Do they mean like Hennessy?
It's a Valhalla drink, I guess.
Hassy.
These are all references to game haven't played. I need to get to Valhalla and Lisa the Painful RPG.
I've always wanted to play Lisa also.
And off. There's too many, it's a problem. Alex looked inside the trash can. Smelling salts.
I thought it said socks for a minute. Smelly socks. I was gonna say, don't take
if you
those.
smell these, they'll wake you up. Also, anything else from the trash would also do that. They're all equally valid in their ability to wake you up in a pleasant way.
What if there's someone just threw away a Cinnabon? It'd be a really good smelling trash can. For like a minute.
It was in the trash.
Yeah, but maybe it was just put there. You don't know, Keith.
Can I be the band? Dillinger.
But Keith, if you become the band, then that one guy is gonna fall in love with you.
No, he already is.
Oh, you're right.
Checkmate.
Talk to the old man in front of the stage.
That's not good. Door?
Question mark?
Door?
It's very pointy. Oh, see this Vela at the table.
Yep. Oh, great. You're here. Was it you turned the lights on? Good. Look, we only have 42 minutes until showtime, and we really need to get the band together. Can you round up the singer, drummer, guitarist, keyboard player, and bassist?
It's just all Vela.
Yeah, probably. They're around here somewhere. They're just being a pain in the ass, so make sure to kick them into gear. Maybe the sleeping guy is one of the band members.
That'd be funny.
You.
Nope. Nope. What?
It's that kid. Catch him.
Catch him. Trip him. Break his leg.
Just throw throw like one of the chairs in his way and just break his legs.
Yeah, he just eats it hard, and it's like, it's not funny. It's worrying.
I told you to stop.
Like when older
You
relative
didn't
trips.
listen.
Oh no.